Well, hey, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to another segment of Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Of course, I'm Sabrina Taylor. Yes, indeed. And I want to say hello to everybody out there in Facebook land. Of course, YouTubers, how are you? Happy Monday. And I see you guys are coming in. Of course, you know what my next request of you is going to be. Get your handhelds to the point to where you can share. And I'm saying that hoping that you're on your laptop, but 90% of the people watching are using their cell phones. Um, but it is okay if you come out and then you share the broadcast. It is okay. I am okay with that. And then go back in. You make sure you go right back in there. So that is exactly what I am doing right now. I am sharing to my page so that others can connect as well. So it's just so I'm glad to have you. I'm happy that you're connecting. We've got a special guest tonight. Ramonda's here, and we have been like chattering throughout Facebook and Instagram the whole week. And finally, we get to have her here, and I get to share her with you. And so, you guys give a warm Indie Artist Reveal welcome to our special guest, Ramonda. Hey, sis.
Hey, how are you, girl?
I'm good. I am good. I'm happy to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Welcome, just welcome. And look, take your shoes off. Get you something to drink. Did you bring some tea, some
I did.
coffee?
I do have something here,
You
right?
got something? Yeah. So we're gonna chat like old friends and kind of get to know you. You guys, she just got back in from London. Well, I'm kind of jealous because I've never been to the UK. Always wanted to go, right? Are you
Mhm.
jet lagged?
I am.
You
But
don't sound like you are. I mean, you've got so much energy,
well,
Ramonda.
I don't know, but well, don't catch me in a couple hours. I mean, yeah, I'll be down for the kill by then, down for the count by then, right?
Oh my God. Wow. Jet lag? Mm, a little?
A little bit.
Just a little. Yeah. Well, we gotta let you get some rest. I promise you, it's only gonna be an hour. And we just want to get a chance to touch you and connect with you and see what's been going on with you. And it's your first time here. Now I do have excuse me, I do have artists who have been here like several times, like Selena Albright. I know you're
Yeah.
familiar with her.
hmm
She's been here so many times. I'm serious. I have lost count. I don't even know how many
hmm
times she's been here. At
hmm
least, though, 5 times.
Okay.
At
Okay.
least. And Castella. Are you
hmm
familiar with Castella?
Not
She's been here,
Castella.
yeah, about 4 or 5 times. She's
Okay.
been here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the ones who are, who know, look, Sabrina got something new. So I'm going to say this to you. So you're family now. So when you get, excuse me, when you get something new, you just let me know and we'll get
Okay.
you in. Yeah, and we can
Thank you.
share with the audience. Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
you just got back from London. What took you to London?
I went to see Selena's last show.
No.
That's why I went to London. I went to see her and to take care of a few things over there. But
Yeah.
yeah, she was there at Soul Mama. She was at a residency for 5 months, and
Yep.
this was her final show. So
It
I
sure
told
is. Mm-hmm.
yeah, she invited me to come over and catch her and catch the show, and I did. So it was wonderful, awesome, awesome.
Oh my God. What was the weather like while you were there?
It was one of the most
Rainy?
beautiful days. It was
Oh.
no, it was a beautiful, beautiful day. Lots of people were out. As a matter of fact, they were having a country western concert there in Kent Park. So they had a lot of young ladies and teenagers and country western fans that were over there ready to enjoy the concert. But I hopped
Yeah.
on the train and went to see Selena. Yeah.
Did you look at you?
Yes, it's a small world, isn't it?
It is a very small world.
Hmm.
That lady is so effervescent, right?
Oh, she's
Um,
awesome.
she just lights up a room,
Yes,
and then on top of that, she sings.
yes.
Who
She's
does that?
she's and she's very talented. She has some wonderful things that are coming up off her calendar. I'll let her share that with you.
Yeah,
But she's going to be going on tour, opening up for some big name acts. As a matter of fact,
um,
she's a big name on
yeah,
her. But yeah, she is awesome. Just the
yeah.
sweetest, just a sweetheart. Yeah,
I
she's
know.
great. Hmm.
I know. I appreciate her. We all do. We all love
Hmm.
her. We really do. So, are you? Have you been over to the UK to perform before?
Yes, I've been there one time before,
Hmm.
and I'm actually trying to get there. And make a how should I say it? Just make a change from the states and slowly get acclimated there in the UK. You know, a lot of times as an indie artist, there's so many artists that are here as well as all over the world.
Sure.
But you sometimes have to go out of the country in order to get a little bit extra recognition, so to say, or a little, what do they say, pep in your step to come back and do even more things, greater things here. I don't know why that happens, but that is the case. So yeah, so I have performed once outside there in London, and of course, just trying to get back over there and do some more additional things that they have available there.
Wow. So, is it difficult to do?
You know what? Um, it is. You really, how should I say it? When I went over initially, I was very excited about bringing a band. You know, I know my musicians here, I know what they can do, and I know, what they can offer. But of course, going there, that's different. You have to make sure if you're going to be coming over on a regular basis that you ensure that, I like to say, the king now gets his share of what you'll be, putting on the table.
Sure.
Then the musicians, I know there was one musician I approached to perform that particular show with me, whereas here it would cost 200 the most for an hour performance, but
Wow.
they wanted 350 pounds. And when I mentioned, the 150, 200, they're like, oh no, that's if you got somebody playing in the church. And I'm
Ooh.
like, well, I haven't gone to church over here, so I don't really know anybody. So, that's just how it worked out. But yeah, it's hard, and you have to have somebody that, just is in there to know the know-hows. You really
Yeah.
have to know the cost, what they're looking to pay. Uh,
Sure.
you have to have a following, so to say. But
Right.
if you're good and if you're committed to your craft, and you can network and you have the opportunity to do so, that makes
Right.
a difference. So that
That makes it-
lightens the load a little bit.
Sure. Sure. Wow. There's a lot to it. And then let's not talk about having to get your band. So I would assume you would do a pickup band there.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Or you just operate with a
A
guitar,
track
a key,
or yeah.
a,
Yeah, keyboardist or
yeah,
something.
or something. And I would love to take my band. I know there are a couple artists that do take their bands there, but then you got to make sure that the venue wants to pay a full band.
That's it.
Because you
That's
got
what
to
I
have
mean.
somewhere to sleep. You can't go over there and not have anywhere to sleep. You have to have airline fare. So it's a lot that entails and goes into it. And as a indie artist, like I like to tell people, there was no template for me to follow. So, with
Oh,
me doing this, you
mhm.
do it. And like we spoke of earlier, you learn lessons when you're doing it.
Sure.
And a lot of times you want to reach out and call people and say, hey, can you tell me this way or how you did it?
Aw,
A lot of times people don't necessarily like to share. Some do, but
that's
some
not
don't.
that that's so weird that people don't want to pay it forward because just like they had to learn.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh
It,
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is that industry, and when you get into it, and I think it just depends on the person.
yeah.
Um, when you get into it, I've always been the type of person like Selena. I can, text her or say, hey, what do you think about this, that, this? And she'll say, well, this, that, this. But there's some people that I've said, hey, if you want to take a band over and you've never done that before outside of the country, you have to figure in the airline fees, then you have to fill it in the hotel fees. You have to make sure the ticket costs are going to make sure that you generate the revenue in order to have. Then you have to have a venue that's willing to put that money out front in the beginning. So there's a lot to it. It's a lot to it.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you about when I was kind of doing research on you, I found a video, beautiful video. It was a Christmas video of you in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay.
But that was back, I think, in I think it said 2019.
Okay.
That was a beautiful rendition of My Favorite Things. Now that is like one of my all-time favorite songs. I mean, that I could listen to basically year round. Talk about how it is when you are preparing for a performance, not necessarily that one, but I just brought that up because I found that live performance of you.
Okay.
And you had a full-blown band.
Oh, yeah. That was a great time. I actually was working with the John Lawrence band at that time. And he was each year he gave a Christmas concert. And he's pretty well known in Michigan, well known all around. He's a famous guitarist, and he hosts the John Lawrence Ypsilanti Jazz Fest now. But he had asked me to come in and to sing a song, and that particular song. And it was a total different rendition of what, initially had been. And it was actually initially performed by Yolanda Adams. And he says, I want you to do it because I think you can do it and it shouldn't be a problem. So I was happy to do it. And as a matter of fact, I came in. I like to say, girl, I had jet belly at that time because I'd actually just like coming in from San Francisco. Wow. So I went in and changed and put this little cute dress on. And then when I started the video, I was like, oh, Lord. And I had come in from the West Coast. And it's funny because when he gave me the song, I listened to the song and I said, you know what, I can do this. This is a great song, but she has such a reach. And I think what's really great about her is that she can hit the high notes as well as the low notes. So how I prepare when I actually go and do a performance, I'll listen to the original version of it initially. Then I'll put it away because after I learn it, I get the bones of it. Then I have to make it my rendition of it. So I have to put my voice on top of it. So I'll get either a regular music instrumental version of a song, and then I'll learn the song that way. So when I get there, I'm prepared, and it's a certain way that Ramonda does it. I don't like to do a karaoke of a song. I think, when you do a song, you go and you learn it, and then
it's yours.
You got it. You got to put a spin on it. And that comes from, I grew up with my mom listened to Aretha Franklin. And Aretha never, ever, ever, when she did a song, it became her song. I'm not comparing myself to the Queen.
No, I get the analogy though. Yeah. I do. Yeah. Listen, we're going to take a quick break. I'm sorry. We're going to take a quick break. I want to start talking about in the next segment. I'm glad you brought up Aretha because we're going to visit who some of your favorites are, who you like to listen to, some of your influences when we get back. So everybody, please stay close. We're going to come back with our special guest tonight, Ramonda, on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
The Music Note Boutique has returned, offering must-have lifestyle go-tos from Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Grab your Black is the New White mug, our 25-ounce hot-cold travel cup, and our classic teas, available in an array of colors. Get your essentials now. Visit us at etsy.com/shop/The Music Note Boutique. Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. I am Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide, and I am so glad that you guys are here and you're joining me with our very, very special guest, Ramonda. She's here on the show with us on tonight, and we are so glad that you are here to chat with us about your music journey and what you've been doing, what you're going to be doing. We just want to chat with you a little bit. You were talking about Aretha before we went into the commercial segment. Who are some of your go-tos, or who were some artists, whether male or female, alive or dead, that you actually were influenced by musically?
Oh my gosh. I like to tell the story that my mother had 5 babies in 6 years. So she did not go out too much, with the kids, but there was a record shop that wasn't too far from the house. So she'd go there and buy everything. And we grew up listening to everything.
Yeah.
She liked classical music. She liked, obviously, the Motown sound.
Sure.
Aretha Franklin was one of the ones that we heard in the house. Nancy Wilson.
Ooh.
My first concert with my mom had tickets, and my dad didn't want to go. Something had happened and he didn't want to go. So she took me, and I just sat up there enthralled by how she just carried the audience, just her whole, the way she presented the song, the way she told the story of the song. I liked how she just, she's just present there with the audience. So her, Aretha, Nancy Wilson, Rochelle Farrell.
I love her.
Oh my gosh. Oh, she's one of the most
amazing. Oh my God.
artists that's out there now. She's just phenomenal. I still can go and listen to her things and just, listen to a song again and find something different that she does. It's wonderful. So Jill Scott, I like women who sing that they bring the stories and the emotions in the songs when they sing.
Right.
So those are some of the people that I enjoy. Yeah.
Wow. So do you incorporate some of their music and cover tunes in your
when I do a show, I like to tell, what's interesting, when I used to start out initially, I would, once I finished the show, because I figure when people come and I give them 100%, I give them, girl, I come off a stage and my hair be all over the place and no makeup on. I be like, let me go here and get myself together and they can go on. I gave them a good show. But then somebody says, we waited and you didn't come out. We wanted to tell you about how much we enjoyed the show.
Oh.
So I try to make an effort, both me and my background singer, Sharice Williams, I love dearly. I like to get songs that when you leave my show, you feel good, not necessarily about the message, but you understand and you connect to the message.
Sure.
So I like for people to come to my show, and I like songs that have, a good story behind it. I like songs that have a good rhythm. It's like having a conversation.
It is.
I like to do that with the audience.
Yeah. So do you like gravitate more towards songs of life and happenings throughout life, or love, or
sometimes
is it a mix?
Start a stage. My guys always know. I tell them 2 things. I says, when you work for me, I pay you before you hit the stage. You play better. That's one thing. And when I hit the stage,
you said you play better.
You play better. You got money in your pocket. But I always say, when I hit the stage, have my stage hot. I want it smoking. So some songs I'll start off with a little bit rhythm. Hey, I'm out there. We're having a good time. Let's go there. Some songs, I like ballads. There's some songs that I like the message or the memory that they relay when I'm singing it. I can sing some songs and remember when I first heard it, or remember being with cousins and we were enjoying it, or we were at a barbecue or family and that type of thing.
Family reunion or something. Yeah.
I like to have, when people come to my show, people say, girl, you did that show, that song. I haven't heard that song in a while. I'm not going to be honest. I don't do any Beyonce. I don't do any of the Nicki Minaj, and that's no problem. I know what works for me and the people that get out and enjoy what I'm doing. So that being said, I just like to get out there and have a good time.
Yeah. And you should. Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever get butterflies? Do you still get those?
Oh yeah. People don't realize this. I'm dropping some dimes, some gems tonight. I have a lot of anxiety before I get on the stage. I do. And that's one of the reasons why I like to have the stage hot. I have to get myself in gear. I remember reaching out to a friend of mine and I says, I just have this feeling sometimes I'm gonna go out there and crash and burn. And they're like, no, you just take a breath, you breathe in, you breathe out, you take a deep breath, and you go out there and do it. So yes, I still do. To this day, I still do.
So how do you bring that in? Because it's just nervous energy.
Yes.
Is all. Mm-hmm. What do you do? I mean, do you hold something in your hand? Do you do deep breaths? What do you do to kind of try to bring that? Because it can affect tone, it can affect everything. So how do you maneuver when you're nervous like that?
Usually what I do, I go out, and if I can, I like to call them my anchors. If I can go out and see a couple faces that I know in the audience,
you connect.
I feel like it's a conversation. Then I can get it going. But beforehand, if I'm standing back there, all the stuff that can possibly happen, you think about. A couple weeks ago, I did a really, really big show, and I fell on stage. First time ever. They told me, it says, "Girl, you welcome to the, what are they falling on stage thing?" I was like, "Well, I sure didn't want to do it." But, you have all these thoughts that go in your head before you get on stage. You want to make sure you remember your words. You want to make sure you come in on time. There's a lot of things that go through that. But once I get on stage and I look out, I kind of look at the audience as my friends. I'm like, okay, or if I see friendly faces, I always try to call out people. I see somebody there, they're there. And that kind of makes me settle down. And then I just hop right into the music.
Yeah. Because when you get in there, that's like your sweet spot anyway.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite songs to perform that are covers?
Oh, some of the covers that I enjoy doing. There's one by Nancy Wilson. I was telling him about you. Where's the one that I always do it at every show. Oh gosh, I can't think of that one. But
when you put on the spot, you're always it's like if you
I get it out. I need to go pull out my set list because there's one song in particular. Darling, I was telling him about you. That's one of the songs. And then I like to do a Aretha Franklin, Rock Steady. Everybody likes that. That's towards the end of the night when we're getting ready.
Oh yeah. To get
and then I like to do Adele. There are a couple Adele songs I enjoy.
Really?
I love songs by Gladys Knight.
Do you have a favorite? Do I
have a favorite song that I enjoy singing? Let me see. I do. I'm trying to think. I like Anita Baker. I enjoy anything. I like. Let me see. What do I really, really enjoy? I sing so many different things. You never get a whole group of the same songs during my sets. But my favorite song, if I had to tell you, my favorite song would be "Daydreaming." I like that song, "Daydreaming."
Okay,
Aretha. I love that.
Yeah.
I like how she does that.
Wow. And I know everybody has that one song, they know it fits their voice. They know they have fun with it. And then they draw the audience in with that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Me and my background singer, we start that out. We start out really high. And then, Aretha comes in. He's the kind of guy that will say, "Hey, baby.
Love it.
Go and get away." Yeah. I love that about that song.
One of my favorites, but that's really one of my favorites by her.
Good.
Do lyrics ever escape you?
Oh gosh, yeah. Girl, listen. I can remember being in church, and my grandmother called me one Sunday because I used to sing in church with the second choir. I was a little girl singing up in church. I grew, my background is from the gospel industry, and was supposed to learn a song, and of course I didn't learn the song, and I had to sing the song, but I got up and rewrote the song. So I sang it and everybody enjoyed it. But, obviously my grandmother knew those were the lyrics to the song. So she says, "You come here, little girl." She says, "That wasn't the way the song, but I was like, I didn't freeze. I got through the song. So yes, lyrics do escape me. I am still like, once again, with the anxiety, I still bring a music stand on stage. I have it lowered. Wow. And it's my little book. It's like my little comfort thing there.
Yeah, your cheat sheet.
You got it. And so yes, but I have been known to rewrite a few songs. Yes.
Well, you can't just stand there like a deer in a headlight.
No, you can't. And then I felt better because I watched Beyonce, at her concert. Now she has a big screen. I can't afford that, but she has a big screen in the back that has all of her words running through.
Well, but that sometimes, even though you love a song, you know a song.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, but all of a sudden you just draw this blank. It's like, I know this.
Yes.
So then you start improvising, and that's good that you can do that. That you can do that. So before we go to the next break, tell me how you prepare. What is prepping for your upcoming performance look like?
What I do, first of all, every venue is different to me. You get same crowd, but different crowd sometimes. So you have to adjust the set list. I'm not one of the singers that says, okay, we're going to do this set list and we're going to run it for the next 6 months. I like to incorporate different songs for different venues. So my guys know when we're coming forward, we're not necessarily going to do the same set of songs that we did last week for that particular audience. So I put together a set list. I obviously learn and make sure that those songs are incorporated. Some songs we'll do a piece of one and plug it into another. But what I like to do is just spend a day. Now, I have 4 sisters and a mom, bless her heart. And they like to call me, girl, the day of the show. And I'm like, listen, I just talked to that one. Get the information from that. I need to rest my voice. I'm never able to do it. I'll be driving to a venue and here's mom. Hey.
Listen, I get it.
So, yeah. So, obviously, I make a nice hot drink with ginger and peppermint and all that fabulous stuff. And I take it. I've been singing so long. It's just natural for me to just talk to the 4 ladies during the day and then the older lady and then just go upstage and do what we have to do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They won't give me a break. They won't.
And that's the last question before we go to the break that I promised that we were going to take.
Okay.
Is about balance, because I know you have family. How do you balance family with music and shows that you have? How difficult is that? But I'm sure you're doing it. But
I just do.
You don't think about it, do you?
Girl, I just do. I'm so used to just doing it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you have to have people that understand you as an artist. That's the first thing. Of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, the art doesn't take precedent, at least for me and not now, over the family. Yeah. But it is incorporated in my life. Once my child graduated from high school and she went off to school, that I was able to focus more on this.
Oh, got it.
You have a regular job and then you're doing this and you're trying to do family. And, my family lives out of state and trying to make time for my mom.
Sure.
It's overwhelming. It does.
I'm sure. Oh my gosh, I am sure. Well, it looks like you're doing a bang up job, and I mean that in the best way.
That's why you see me in my sunglasses. My eyes are crossed most of the time.
Oh my God. I mean, you just got back from London, so I'm sure that your balancing act is probably one someone would say, please tell me how you do. Please put that in writing.
I do it sometimes. Girl, look, I used to try and sleep when I was tired. Yeah. Now, I'm not necessarily when I was tired. When I said, you know what, I'll sleep and try to stay on the right, Michigan time and do this.
Sure.
Now I just sleep when I'm tired. I just don't do it. I sleep when I get tired. I'll rest and I'll get up. If I have to sit up a couple hours and I get tired, then I'll go back to sleep.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. Really, really does. Well, we're going to take the last break of the night, and we are definitely on schedule. And thank you, Ramonda, for helping me do that.
Thank you for I know we got to take a break. We'll talk about. I'll let you take your break, then I'll give my thanks to you, shortly.
No problem. No problem at all. Listen, everybody, I hope you guys are enjoying us. and the conversation, getting to know Ramonda, is basically what we are doing on tonight. Such an amazing and phenomenal creative. I thought you should know. So listen, don't go away. We'll be right back in just a little bit on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community. The Music Note Boutique has returned, offering must-have lifestyle go-tos from Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Grab your Black is the New White mug, our 25-ounce hot-cold travel cup, and our classic teas, available in an array of colors. Get your essentials now. Visit us at etsy.com/shop/The Music Note Boutique.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. I'm Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. I have my wonderful guest sitting right next to me, Miss Ramonda, and I'm actually utilizing one of the Black is the New White mugs. I mean, it's very substantial and it's heavy too, right? It's like 16 ounces. It's my go-to.
Oh, wow.
Now, some of you guys know I rebranded. It used to be Unsigned Artist Reveal Worldwide, but in the scope of things, the indie name, I think, works better, right? For all intended purposes. And so my mom is still using the old one. And I am using this one. And it's just, like I said, it's my go-to. And I also am hanging on to my hot cold mug. It's 25 ounces. And you see, like, next to my head, how large this is, right? It's pretty big. And, you fill this thing with water and you can go for quite a while with this thing. So go to etsy.com/shop/The Music Note Boutique. And you can find the items, including the tea. The tea. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, there we go. There we go. I got it on. So I'm well branded tonight. I am super branded on tonight. But I want to continue that conversation, and I hope I didn't throw you off your game. You had a question for me before.
I just wanted to tell you thank you because your platform, you might, this is something obviously you're good at and you enjoy doing it, but it really does help the indie artists to promote their work and to get their work out there. And that's not something that I take lightly. And if every person was like you, what kind of industry would this be? It's a lot of work for indie artists.
It is.
Thank you for making the load a bit lighter.
Aww.
I have to share that with you. Thank you so much, and you do a great job.
Thank you. I love what I do. It's a labor. It's a labor, but it's a labor of love. Before I get in this seat on a Monday, I would have had to have done my homework to know more about you. And it's more than just opening a laptop and bringing somebody to the side of me. Because a lot of times, if I don't have anyone to engineer, I have to chat with you, push buttons, chat with the audience, go to commercial, come back. I'm doing all of these things at once. And so that's why I call it a labor of love. I don't mind it, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it is a lot.
Well, you
Uh,
do a great job, and I'm just a peon, so to say. I've seen some of the artists that you've had on here. You've had some really top artists
yeah,
that have been wonderfully available on your show. So you do a
yeah.
great job. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Mhm.
And who is? It's so small down there. Maybe I can read it. I can see it here. Valita Lee Garcia. Thank you so much for the emojis, the microphone, the music. All of that supporting me. And Chinier is probably still on here too. She gets. I don't know. I don't know how she does it. She's from the UK, so that's about 6 hours ahead. And I don't know if she takes a nap and wake up and then come on the show, come to the chat and chat with us and talk with us. I don't know how she does it, but just about every Monday,
Oh, wow.
she comes and she supports the show. So thank you all who support Indie Artist Reveal worldwide. I have some great, great ideas and some different things that I want to do with the show
Mhm.
beyond the social media platform.
Okay.
I have so many great ideas, but I won't bore you with that because this is not my time. It's Ramonda's time. And I wanted to ask you, because so we're definitely on the right track. I wanted to ask you about the business side of things. How difficult, if at all, how difficult has it been for you as a female maneuvering in this business?
It's hard. It's hard. At times it can be difficult.
Yeah.
But I have been really, truly blessed to have networking opportunities, to have people come in my life when I've been very frustrated with this. As a woman, it's even harder. That adds a whole different layer to it.
Sure.
A lot of times, I think I shared with you earlier, I'd done a show and I was the headliner. My name was on the marquee, and management came and gave my piano player the check. And I'm thinking, okay, well, how does that work? Or you have
Wow.
with there are a lot of underlying issues that work being a woman. You developed how you have to be sure you want to tell your band what you want from them.
Hmm.
A lot of times from some of the past artists, female artists, there was always that B word. Uh,
Hmm.
if a woman requested this or wanted that, she was the B word. And that
Hmm.
wasn't true to form, because I think as a woman, when you want something, men might necessarily look at you a certain way. But, all my guys and ladies that I've worked with, I try to be fair and honest.
Sure.
And they know, what my expectations are, because when I come to a stage, I like to bring 100%. I like for my guys to do that. I like to think if we're all in this together, it's like
Right.
baking pie. If you don't have all of the ingredients that work together, the pie won't be any good.
It won't be good at all.
I
No,
always
it
say,
won't.
I
Mm-mm.
like, if you're gonna come to a show of mine, you're gonna have, first of all, you're gonna have a good band. That's a requirement of mine. I mean, Detroit has some of the best musicians in the world. You got to have a good band. Once I got my band going, I got my background singer right there, and I can throw the lyrics on, and we're gonna have a good time. But it's hard. Being an indie artist, I tell anybody, it is not
It's
for the
a
faint of
challenge. No, it's not for the faint of
heart.
heart.
You have to love this. And
Hmm.
see, I got into it. I didn't look ever at it as a business. I just like to sing, and that might
Mm.
me, but I just enjoy singing. I've been singing since I was 10 years old.
Yep.
See, I used
Yeah.
to do a lot of funerals, all that other stuff. That was my mom's issue. But at this point now, with social media, that's another thing you have to add on. I'm a t-shirt, blue jean, hoodie type of gal. I'm not one to
Comfy. Comfy.
got it, but
Yeah.
that's not what they want now. Social media wants the boobs. They want the sex appeal. And I just had to make up in my mind that I was going to get back into this. I never left it. I just
Right.
shifted. When I got back into it, I was going to get into it authentically.
Yeah.
What you see is pretty much, I can dress up and put it up there, and go
I've
do.
seen you
It's part
in
of
some
the show.
glam stuff.
Gosh, you got to do what you got. My sister told me no more sequins. She says no more sequins, Ramonda. That's it. You buy too much sequins, so I had to pull back on that. But
Mhm.
The social media, you gotta market yourself. I don't like being on social media all day. I have so many other things to do.
I know.
That's part of the process. When you
It is.
they want to know, your followers. How many followers do you have?
Oh, that's like top of the question,
Hmm.
line of questions that they'll
Hmm.
ask you. What are your numbers on
Yep.
social?
Yep.
What are your numbers on Spotify?
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's like a necessary evil.
Sure. Yeah.
Because if I really, honestly, you guys, and I don't mean this negatively, if I didn't have to be on social media,
Hmm.
I wouldn't.
Hmm. I understand.
There's just so much that comes out of you, pulls a lot out of you.
Hmm.
But I love the fact that it's a networking tool for
Yes.
me.
Yes.
You know, it's networking. It is me getting my brand out,
Hmm.
sharing with people who may not know me,
Hmm.
getting people in network to
Yep.
help them
Hmm.
network with others that I
Hmm.
may know.
Hmm.
It comes full circle.
Sure.
But with anything, too much of one thing is not good.
You
Too
got
much
it.
sugar, it's not good. Too much caffeine, it's not good.
Mhm.
Too much social media, yeah, you know. But I also wanted to ask. So, are you in a band locally?
I have my own band. I have a couple groups that I work with.
Hmm.
I have a 24-piece big band that I work with.
24. Wait. I'm still back there.
Yeah, it's
How many?
24 piece. Yeah, and they do some slamming songs from the American Storybook Songbook. And I do stuff with them once or twice a year. I enjoy that. And then I have my own personal band. It's a 5-6 piece band if I want to bring in an extra person with that. And then I have
Wow.
a trio that I work with. And then I have what we call duos, which is myself
Hmm.
and a gentleman by the name of Chris that we go and we do weddings. And, I never try to turn down gigs because I think, anything is when you're out doing music, music is audience one, whether it's 3 people, 2 people, 1 people, hundreds of people or whatnot, you still want them to enjoy the music. So
And
I
you do.
work with a lot of different, um, I'm the one shop girl. If you want, if you want a wedding singer, I can get myself and Chris. If you want a trio, I get myself Joe and Michael. And if you want a big band, if we're going to do jazz series or things of that nature, concerts,
Yeah.
then we have the 7 piece that we bring out. So yeah, and then of course I have my big band. Yeah.
One thing I didn't. I want to begin asking about because I know you're a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what was it? And normally this is something that I ask up front
Okay.
at the beginning. What is it that drew you to music? I mean, was it something in your childhood? Was it church? Because we know your roots are in church.
You
Can
know,
you encapsulate what it was that drew you to music?
what's interesting is that when I was little, my mom used to say when I would cry, she would crank up the music and put me in the playpen. I don't know if they call that playpens now, and that would calm me. I would sleep to it, and that would
Mm,
calm me down. And still to this day, I know there was something that someone said, a friend of mine said, Louise, that music isn't supposed to make you feel good.
mhm,
It's supposed to tell stories and whatnot. But I always
mhm,
looked at music as making me feel good. If I was stressed out, I could pull out different pieces that would calm me, or
mm.
that would, if I was going through, early in life in college or whatnot, a breakup or a crush, I would pull out certain songs that would just,
True.
that would kind of mold that a
Fit
little.
the moment.
Yeah.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
I mean, it does. I don't think it was any. I think it's just was something that God poured into me, And I sing every day, whether I'm on a stage or whether I'm not on a stage. Um, I enjoy singing. Now, the thing that shifted in me was that I never liked the business. And people say, why?
Mhm,
I had a contract 100 years ago. You know the artist Tamia. She used to be signed with a label over in Canada called Megtum Records.
mhm,
And I was signed on that label with her. A couple things happened, shifted, didn't
mm.
work out, okay, fine. But I never went seeking it. I always used to think of running into a building where zombies are coming out. So when you look at the industry, I always says, well, you look at all the people that have gone in there and look how they come out. So that wasn't something I ran to. It wasn't until like the last 3, 4 years that I actually started looking at it as a business. And then it started, I ended up doing, my friend's dad was a senator, Senator Gregory, and he was running for an office here. And she asked me to do something during COVID. And no one was doing anything, but we were doing things online. So I did something. That turned into me setting up a scholarship fund. I needed money for that. I did another concert online, raised $5,000. Then I had the band intact, and then people start calling me to do different things. So then it became where I was like, oh, and then I would do shows, and people would really enjoy them. You know, and they would tell me, Ramonda, I really enjoyed that. I felt good. I felt the energy and whatnot. So I said, yes, people really do enjoy what I'm doing. So that's when it shifted, and I start looking at it as a business. Otherwise, it was people calling me up, girl, can you do this wedding? Can you do that? Or my parent or somebody passed. I don't do funerals. I tell people that. Very few I'll do except for special friends. But otherwise, I'm game for anything if it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So I want to start talking about your skills as a writer.
Okay.
Have you always been able to write, or was that something learned? Do you have, and I'm saying that because I know some people will say, I've got songs in the can.
Okay.
I just need to record them.
Okay.
So do you have like a library of written material that you're waiting to record, or do you write as you need to?
Okay, I write, and there are some things that I write that will probably never be recorded. My writing is more like a journal, like a writing through my feelings. And some songs are personal that won't necessarily be about anything I would share. And it's funny because a lot of the engineers or producers will say, girl, those are the best songs. We need to hear those songs. You don't have to put your name on them. I said, yeah, but I'm sitting up there boo-boo crying. You gonna know that's a song for me. That's no way I'm going to hide that.
Right.
But the song Make It Make Sense came about. I have a writing partner, a young man. He could actually be, I'd like to say, I won't say I could be his mom, but probably his auntie mama.
Of course.
But we decided to, start doing some stuff. And I didn't want stuff that was dated. And so I always think it's good to have a young element poured in because it just keeps you molded, keeps you on your toes a little bit more. And so we sat down and wrote the song, and it was Make It Make Sense. And the thought process was that, a lot of times when you are talking to your mate or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, you want to make sure communication, when you get married, the first thing they say, communication is the best, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And so the song was basically saying, make it make sense. Tell me what you need. And so that was a simple song to make. We actually met at the library, rented out a room, got the key, and we sat there and wrote it and did it for there. But from now, I do have songs, and I do have producers, people that we're working with now. I don't, at this point, want somebody to give me something that they've created that isn't for me and doesn't work for me. Sure. So at this age, at this point in the game, being seasoned, I know what I like. I know what I sound like. I know what works for me. So, of course, I may have to pull out some of the stuff from the journals. Or, I like to listen to something and Carlton and I will listen to something. I said, that's a pretty good tune. Let's see if we can work something in that regard. So, that's how it comes about. And some songs you'll listen to the rhythm or, people send you tracks and you'll say, that's a good track, but it's not for me. I can't pull anything from it. So,
Gotcha. Well, I'm so glad that you talked about Make It Make Sense because that's what we're going to premiere tonight. Beautiful. I love. It reminds me of an Anita Baker intro. I love her. I mean, she's like
a girl here,
a go-to, for everything that is in R&B in my heart, for R&B and love songs. Anita Baker is a female singer. She's just the epitome of elegance, and class. You're not going to see, if you see her shoulder out, it's going to be so classy that you're like, dang, look how she does that, even showing her shoulder. She's a classy lady.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just respect that about her. she and Nancy Wilson,
Yes.
and I think Nancy was one of her influences
Oh, yeah.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah Vaughan.
Yes.
I mean, I love all of those warm, round, nice bottom tones, and then to be able to get up there in different registers, it just amazes me.
Oh, yeah.
So when I heard the intro, all of that, I know it took me longer to explain, but I heard all of that, and I reflected on all of that. Yeah, when I heard the song. So everybody, I want you to get ready to hear Make It Make Sense by our special guest tonight, Ramonda. And we'll be back. I want you guys to go on, use your emojis, comments, and then we'll come back and we'll chat a little bit more with Ramonda right here on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
Superficial love. See, I've lost and I've lost. Give me some time to take things slow. If you wanna be with me, don't need no lies, just understand. Oh, baby, make it make, come on, say, come on and make it make sense to me. 'Cause if you want my time, just say what's on your mind. I'm gonna give you just what you need. When you're tired, maybe struggling, you see my gentle touch will see through. Oh, I got just what you need. Baby, I'm not leaving love right here for you. If you wanna be with me, don't need no lies, just understand. Oh, baby, make it make sense, make it make sense for me. 'Cause if you want my time, just say what's on your mind. I'm gonna give you just what you need. That communication is all of these. They say that communication in relationship is the key. Like you say, oh, make it make sense to me, baby, baby. If you take the time, tell me what's on your mind. Not you, baby. Tell me what's on your mind. I need to know, yes I do. Tell me. I need to know. Make it make sense, baby. Tell me. Yeah, baby.
That's music from our special guest tonight, Ramonda. Make it make sense. I mean, it is so cool. I mean, the title itself, I chuckled. It's like, I know exactly where she's coming from. Oh, like the math ain't mathin',
That's
life
right.
ain't lifing. Make it make sense.
Yes, and I have to give credit to Randy Scott.
Yeah.
Well-known saxophone player,
Oh,
Bill
yeah. I
Top.
know him.
He
Mhm.
produced that. He played the saxophone in that, and guess what? He did
Mm.
the background vocals with that.
Ooh.
So he's a very dear friend of mine, and I felt so honored to have him
Mhm.
on that song with me. So
Yeah.
he's the producer of that song.
So amazing. So amazing. Do you have full projects out,
Do I
Ramonda?
have, I'm sorry, full projects? You mean like,
Out. Available on any of the digital platforms?
yes, I have Make It Make Sense, and I
Mhm.
have a song that I was featured in called I'll Stand, and that's a gospel song, and it was actually produced and written by Brian G. Gary. So
And when I say projects, I mean like a body of work. Do you have a music compilation, like a CD, a long playing? Um,
no,
okay.
that's what we're working on now. So that's
So
what I'm in the studio right now, putting together some things so that we can have that done. And I should have that out hopefully by they keep telling hopefully by September, early part of September.
oh, that'd be
Yeah,
wonderful.
so
Yeah.
that will be available soon.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, I love the song.
Oh, thank you.
It's such a great tune. Did you ever take it to radio when you release it?
Oh,
When you
yes.
did
I was over in the UK on
it?
London's well-known popular radio, West Side Radio,
Mhm.
and they featured it. They actually have it on the turntable there daily, they tell me. And I was there and I did a great interview with DJ Rude and DJ, let's see, wait, Gus, Gussie Gus, and DJ Rude. Those are two of the well-known R&B host there at the West Side Radio in UK, London.
Sure,
Hmm.
sure. Wow. Well, they need to invite you over.
Yes, I need to come back. I
Mhm.
need to go
Yeah,
back, and I keep
yeah.
telling them I will be back over there because I have some two gigs that hopefully will be lined up. I don't like to put it out there until I get the contracts. We'll
I
say that.
totally
But
agree
I
with
will
you.
be back in London soon. I can tell you that much. I'll be performing there, and
Yeah.
hopefully that project will be done, and that'll just add a little bit more seasoning on
And
to
it
it.
will.
Yes.
Yeah, it surely will. So, tell me something. Who do you want to collaborate with in the future?
Oh my God.
Anybody that you can think of?
Oh, Babyface would be one. That would be one. We went to see his concert in Vegas live a couple weeks ago, and he is just
How do you like it?
oh,
It was
oh,
fantastic.
oh,
Yes?
girl.
Yeah.
He's like he. You know, I would like to say this: when I listen to music, and all the years I listen to everything, like I said, everything. Girl, I always tell people I do everything but yodeling. But if music is full,
Yeah.
and you hear a full plate of music, that's what you get from Babyface.
Yeah.
He's a just I can't even explain. He wouldn't even have to sing, and I would enjoy his concert. So he's one of the artists that I would love to work with.
Wow. Any as far as like writing collaborations, like I can hear you singing something by Diane Warren, a David Foster.
I would love that. I actually went to a David Foster show years ago, and
Yeah.
I got the microphone. Somehow
Really?
he was playing. He said,
Right.
"Oh, anybody out here?" And I had some friends with me, and they're like, and it's actually on my page. I got the microphone, and it was funny because he, people don't necessarily think, you sing whatever. And I sang, and he thought, wow. And he said, if anybody could do it well, he would give him a contract. Well, he lied because I didn't get the contract, girl.
And you do it well.
That's the truth.
Oh my
That
God.
didn't work out. But yeah, of course, I would love to work with them because someone asked me, they says, "Well, Ramonda, what type of music do you do?" I
Hmm.
said, "I do good music." So I
I
don't
love that.
just like to
Good.
say, yes, girl. Good music crosses all genres, right?
It does. It does.
So yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, and you write and you perform. Do you have an affinity to one of the or the other? Or do you love them equally?
You know, I think writing and I and I'll say this about writing. If
Mhm.
anybody knows me, if I like you, I know you, I'll open up to you. If I don't, I'm no pretty quiet. I kind of always stay in the background.
Yeah.
But my writing is so personal to me. So,
Yeah.
I don't mind the writing. I think the
Mhm.
writing is, I guess I could write things that wouldn't necessarily relate to me. But at this point, in this stage, I think I would write things that would be more along the lines of how I feel and what
Mm.
rhythm in life I'm in at that time.
Sure.
So, of course, when you do that, you have to be willing to share it. And that's the
Oh,
so
vulnerability is a beast
yes, it
when
is. Yes,
you know that this is coming from your heart,
yes.
you know,
Hmm.
not necessarily somebody else's experience that you
No,
saw
no.
and wanted to.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
it takes courage to do
It
that.
does. And I don't know if I'm there 100% yet. I can write
Mhm.
the lighter stuff, but
Yeah,
not necessarily the heavy stuff right now.
yeah,
But that's okay, right?
yeah, yeah. It is okay. I
Writing
think it
team
is.
out there, I have some good writers that I'm working with now. So
Yeah,
we'll see where they go with it.
absolutely, absolutely. What do you want people to walk away with after they hear your music?
You know what? I first want them to hear one thing I learned about Nancy Wilson was always her phrasing. And when she sang a song, you
Mhm.
enjoyed the vocals of it, but you got the message. And I always loved to
Yes.
see how she did the message. When people walk away, I first of all obviously want them to enjoy the sound, what they hear coming out of my voice. No one
Hmm.
wants to stand and sing, and people say, "Oh, she was okay." But if I can, I think, and this is just my thought process. I think music comes from the above, from the Creator
Hmm.
above, and it's given
Hmm.
to make our lives better. I think it's given to help you when you're going through bad times. We're all going through something. If you're not in
Absolutely.
it, you're getting ready to get in it, or you're in the middle of it. And so
Right.
I think music is there to help you get through those times, whether they're good or bad. I never listen to something to bring me further down in the dumps. I like
Oh,
to listen to it to embrace or just add a little less, make things lighter on my load. And that's how I look at music.
mhm. Yeah. Wow. Well, I think, and as you were talking about what you wanted people to pull from and to walk away with, I started putting some of the comments that the audience said as they were listening to your music, and they just, I mean, one person had hearts all the way across the screen. I
Oh,
know,
that's
I
so sweet,
know, and there
guys.
were hearts everywhere, though, not just that person. There were hearts everywhere. So we want you to connect with Ramonda. Was it oversight, or do you have a website yet?
Not a website, but I do have the Instagram and the Facebook. The
Right,
Instagram is just Ramonda's Music, and then the Facebook is Ramonda. And my
right.
artist page is just Ramonda. Yeah.
Got it. Got
Mhm.
it. Yeah, well, we have it scrolling across the bottom as you speak, and we want everybody to get connected, because that, I know that CD project is going to be amazing, and
I'm excited.
we have thoroughly enjoyed you tonight. We want to see you go on tour
Oh
in the
yeah.
States, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, Chenier would probably love to have you in the UK,
Mhm.
but we would love to see you in certain parts of the States here.
Thank you. And thank you again. You're so awesome. I have to tell you that your energy is just, you guys, what you see here is just who she is. And you're very
Oh,
authentic in what you do. And thank you. I can't say that enough for all the people that are out there just trying to sing or play their instrument and do what they do. Thank you. I want to tell you that. And you're just
oh,
as she's pretty too, you guys. She's just as sweet and pretty as she is talented.
would you
So thank
stop?
you.
You're making me
No, I'm
blush.
not trying to. I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that with you. You've been so kind and gracious this entire process, and I just wanted to tell you thank you. If you're doing something that so many artists out there need, and you're helping us, just get our projects out there and get
Yeah.
them listened to. So thank you again.
It's a pleasure. This is what I love doing. It's a spin-off from my older days. I'm 58,
Hmm.
and it's just a spin-off of things that happened in my life as I attempted to pursue record contracts. Which, if anybody has been with me any amount of time, there were three windows of opportunity, which is a rarity. Most times you get one shot at a major deal, but I had three shots
Wow.
with MCA, Sony, and
Mm,
Columbia Records.
mm,
And none of them transpired, not because I couldn't sing, but there were some the circumstances that happened.
mhm.
And I'll tell you guys about that a little later. Maybe I'll do a book.
I think that's
Um,
great.
I don't know, but it has been such a journey. And I've even tried to step out from music.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I try, I
Mm-hmm.
just get pulled back in. I think I
Mm-hmm.
shared that with another artist. So I know music is where I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
Right now, I'm helping to launch a pretty major artist who used to be with a legendary Grammy nominated group.
Okay.
And so we are working on his project and getting him launched via PR, Facebook, radio. It's,
Mm-hmm.
you know what, that reminds me of, Ramonda, the days of old when artists had a team,
Oh yeah.
when they had a team of people and everybody specialized in something.
Yep.
And we had a conference call last week about the launch date of his CD. And it was like a flashback. I had to like shake my head, kind of like clearing like the bugs out of my
Uh-huh.
cobwebs out of my head, because
Mm-hmm.
it felt so much like the old days in that
Mm-hmm.
we were a team, we
Uh-huh.
were unified, and we were helping the artists. And these days indies are saying, well, that's what we're trying to get rid of and get out of. We don't want this, we don't want that. But I'm gonna tell you, there's no such thing as mavericks and lone rangers in this
That.
industry.
Yes.
And if you can find people who
Mm-hmm.
can help you
Sure.
and be your support,
Mm-hmm.
now it's not going to be free. And I think that's the reason why a lot of indie artists kind of
Mm-hmm.
stay away from those types of teams, because you've got to invest in yourself.
Yes.
But if you get the right people who are
Mm-hmm.
doing the right things, that money is going to pay itself forward,
Sure.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I just suggest to you, and this is not to boost what I do, because I
No,
know
I'm
I'm good at what I do. On
mm-hmm.
that sense, I'm not even talking about the platform. This is
Mm-hmm.
outside the platform.
Mm-hmm.
But the artist relations liaison part of me wants to see the indie artist win,
Uh-huh.
but you can't win alone.
No.
And you have to have people you trust,
Mm-hmm.
people who will support you,
Mm-hmm.
people who will encourage you on days when you are not encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the days when it doesn't look like anything is happening, you still need to have that team to be
Mm-hmm.
there with you. And in the end, your win is there. Your
Mm-hmm.
win is there.
Mm-hmm.
If not me, somebody else, grab yourself a team of people so that
Mm-hmm.
you can be the success that I know
Mm-hmm.
and that you know
Mm-hmm.
can be.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
be. Uh-oh. So I just want to tell you, Ramonda, thank you so much
Oh, back at
for
you.
coming on, sharing the
Having
power.
it.
And it's
I
gone.
know. It's like, girl, that's too short. I'll call you later, girl.
It's please do. Please do. Please do. Well, everybody, I want to tell you, thank you for coming on, staying up late, staying up early, whichever one that is. And we just really, really do appreciate you. I think there are 4 more comments before we go. I've got a new subscriber. Carlton Jones says, tour. He has that in caps.
I'm working on it.
He says she's working on it, my friend. Thank you so much for subscribing. And most of these views are coming from YouTube, and that's a good thing, because I haven't really even tried to put any effort in my YouTube page, because I've been helping other artists do that for their own. I guess it's time for me to do it for mine. But I thank you guys so very much for going over there. I got to change some things around, because the YouTube is in my name, and it should be under the branded page. And that would mean I would have to do a lot of work to do that, which I don't have the time at the moment. But once I settle down, once the dust settles, I'm going to get in there, roll my sleeves up, and make that thing work. So, but thank you all so much for all the comments, all the support, laboring with me. And you hang out for just a second, Ramonda. We've got to pay a bill and getting the credits. I want all those credits to roll. But you guys remember, what you make happen for others, God will make it happen for you.
Yes.
You take care, and I'll see you again in just about a week. Okay? Take care. Bye.
Bye, everybody.